Welcome in, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. Your Golden Edge crew here outside of City National Arena. I'm Cassie Soto, joined alongside Golden Knights beat writers David Shane and Ben Goetz. They are killing the game for us over at ReviewJournal.com, and a very big day, very busy day for these guys today. Two major announcements were made for the Golden Knights. Let's start with the first one, Dave. Captain Mark Stone has been placed on long-term IR with a back injury. What can you tell us there and how big of a hit this will be for the Golden Knights?
Well, obviously it's a big hit. Unfortunately, in terms of the timeline and how long he's out, we don't really know. And that's sort of the frustrating part for, obviously us, you, the viewers, the readers, but also for the Golden Knights and for Mark Stone. There just seems to be kind of this lingering issue with his back that goes, not only, through training camp, but for a while here. And they can't really pinpoint exactly what the issue is. So, it's not like they can just say, okay, he needs surgery. Before he was determined he didn't need surgery. So it's a little bit back at square one here, where they're just going to say, okay, let's give him some time. We've got a couple months here, let's assess things. And then, you got another little bit of news here that makes the, the absence of Mark Stone a little easier to absorb. So
that is what we call a tease in the business, Dave. We love that. Again, the big breaking news coming from inside this building today. The second piece of that news is that Jack Eichel will officially make his debut for the Golden Knights on Wednesday versus the Colorado Avalanche. Ben, this guy has been off for 11 months, underwent a surgery, the first of its kind for the NHL. This has been a long time coming for Jack Eichel.
Yeah, and he feels that too. I mean, he came out talking to us today. He seems so excited, so eager. You could even see the little bit of the scar on his neck when he was talking to us. But, I mean, this is a guy that obviously for a long time was considered one of hockey's brightest talents, and he's been on the shelf with that herniated disc in his neck that he was, of course, feuding for a long time with his previous team, the Buffalo Sabres, as to how best to treat it. Got traded to the Golden Knights. They all agreed in November. You can get your preferred surgery that has not been done on an NHL player before. Now it has been done on another NHL player in Chicago's Tyler Johnson. But Eichel, of course, got cleared just a couple weeks ago after the All-Star break to take contact. Now he's, of course, going to take a whole lot of contact Wednesday against the Colorado Avalanche. But he's obviously eager. The Knights seem very eager to have him. And he's officially their new 1C. We saw him wearing that white jersey with Max Pacioretty and Evgeny Dadonov. So he's going right to the top of the lineup in his first game with the Golden Knights.
And I think it's important to note also that Eichel obviously very excited. He knows that he will not be in mid-season form like the guys he's going to be taking the ice with. What do you expect from him, though, Dave, on Wednesday? How quickly do you sort of expect him to get in the groove of things?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get thrown right into the fire, obviously, against Colorado, which is the best team in the league. So, and even he kind of acknowledged that. I mean, it's, no easy nights, I guess, in that regard. In terms of the player that he is, and he even mentioned this too, skating with Max Pacioretty, he kind of prides himself on being a playmaker, being more of a setup guy. So maybe we'll see him trying to develop some chemistry. Finding a guy like Max Pacioretty who's known, as more of a finisher, more of a goal scorer. But the other thing is, Jack Eichel can score some goals himself pretty well. Once he gets up to speed, he's the type of guy you can take it end to end, go 200 feet with it, and go through a couple guys and around him too. So I don't think we'll quite see that, right away. We might see glimpses of it. You might see him pick up the puck, make a little flash and go around somebody and then give it away. Something like, not give it away, but give it up, make a pass. But, again, he's a dynamic offensive player that the Knights haven't had. We haven't seen. Like Ben said, this is a top 10 offensive talent. This is a guy who went number 2 overall in the draft, and in any other draft probably would have gone, number 1. He just happened to be, with Connor McDavid. So, once he gets up to speed and once he really feels comfortable, because the other thing too, he talked about, there's a mental hump here that he's got to get over, with an injury, anybody, a knee, you have to take that first bump and kind of say, okay, I got this. It's not going to, it's not going to be the end. So once he gets past that, I think you're going to really see, somebody who's fast and dynamic and is really going to, control the puck and make things happen and be somebody who's a creative force.
And then, Ben, just to wrap things up here, the duality of it. Without Mark Stone for the foreseeable future, but now adding Jack Eichel, where do you see the Golden Knights going now, and how quickly do you see them making a push here in the very important games coming up?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because Kelly McCrimmon, general manager, described it as kind of a bittersweet day because, of course, you have Jack Eichel, who is so exciting that he's coming in the lineup. But once again, this has been a theme for the Golden Knights all season where it seems like it's one step forward, one step back with them, where injuries have just been the constant that they have been dealing with, and they still have really yet to see their full lineup together. And with Stone now going on LTIR, it might be a long time before they get to see their full team together. So it's still going to be interesting to see what this team ends up looking like in terms of what to expect. Like, that's still the big unknown because, as I said, this roster puzzle is still not going to fit together until potentially late in the regular season, or maybe not at all in the regular season, maybe not until the playoffs. The Golden Knights obviously still have certainly found a way to be successful. They are still in a playoff spot as of today, but there are still going to be a lot of unanswered questions for this team, even with all the talent that they've amassed down the stretch and even potentially going into the playoffs.
Well, again, some big news for the Golden Knights today. Again, Mark Stone landing on long-term IR and Jack Eichel getting ready to make his debut on Wednesday with the Golden Knights. He is David Shane, Ben Goetz. I'm Cassie Soto. For more on the Golden Knights, head to reviewjournal.com.